Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome Rock Camp. Tonight is our keyboard Zoom. We have special guest Laurie Height, who has done vocals for Rock Camp, but has stepped up and is teaching this week's keys lesson on YouTube. And we just want to thank Laurie so much for her hard work and dedication to making it happen. Make some noise for Laurie. Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah. Take it away. If you have Laurie, if you have any like icebreakers or anything we want to talk about, we could just roll.
Man, well, I didn't plan any icebreakers. I guess my icebreaker is, did anyone have any questions about the video that I can answer? I know that I went across the chords kind of fast, I realized in retrospect. So if anyone had any questions, now is the time.
I have 2 questions from Jack, who currently isn't here right now.
Okay.
Oh, one is, I lost it, hang on. Okay. You taught arpeggios on the chords, which I dig. Is that off limits for the Rock Camp song?
So it's arpeggios and yeah, and definitely not off limits for the Rock Camp song. I say interpret the Rock Camp song however you feel inspired to interpret it. It might be cool to hear like some different renditions of it, to be honest, especially since we have bands on like various instrument setups, and you might not, I know not all of our bands have a drummer. The band that I'm band managing doesn't have a drummer, and so it might be interesting to see how that could be interpreted differently.
Can you explain what an arpeggio is? I've heard the word, I'm sure definitely. I know once you do it, but just so anyone definitely. Who doesn't know what an arpeggio is.
So we start by learning what a chord is. So we have notes where we play one note at a time, right? We have a chord where we play at least 3 notes at the same time. And then an arpeggiation would be where we play each of those 3 notes one at a time. Okay, so it's basically we take a chord and we break it up into its individual units. So if we were doing this on the Rock Camp song, our first chord is E. So I'm going to go to E major, which is E, G sharp, and B. So you could go so for my little band, Nora and Cash, since they're doing guitar and piano, if they wanted to do like a slow version of it for some reason, they could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We build each other up, or something like that. I don't know. Arpeggios.
Cool.
Do arpeggios have to go in order? Like, do I have to play E, G sharp, B? Or can I play E, B, G sharp? Like it go in any order?
It has to be in the order for it to be an arpeggio. Okay, well, actually, that's actually a good question. I feel like it has more to do with pattern and repetition.
Right.
So okay. if you went like instead of going E, G sharp, B, if you went E, B, G sharp, but you did that repeatedly, that would count as an arpeggio. So I think it has more to do with the pattern.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, second question. He says, if it's okay to play chords with my right hand while only playing one key with my left. I don't know if it's the size of my hands or the limitations of my wrist movement because of my injury, but I'm having a rough time playing chords with both hands. I feel like T-Rex.
Well, you don't have to play chords with both hands, and I wasn't in the video. I was just playing one note with my bottom hand.
Yeah, so he's saying he wanted to play it with 2 hands.
Oh, he wants to play it with 2 hands.
Because he can't do it all.
Yeah, I mean, he could try spacing his hands farther apart and see if that helps with the angle. So instead of having it as 2 octaves right next to each other, like that, he could have this one be up higher and see if that changes the angle of either of his wrists, maybe.
Cool. I'll let him know.
Yeah, that's all I can think of.
Yeah, and it might depend.
Oh, sorry, I thought of one more thing. So a lot of it could be the angle. Let me bring this down here. So when you're playing on the keyboard, you want to make sure that your wrist has not dropped down below the level of the keys. You want to keep your wrist up like this, and you want to keep your palm round like there's a ball or like a mouse, like computer mouse under your hand. And so if he's got like, if his hands are too close together and then his wrists are down and one is like to the side, then I can see how that might be uncomfortable. So make sure that his wrist is lifted and that his palm is rounded, and see if that helps.
That helped me just now. You know, I was playing, I'm like, oh, this hurts. And then I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, that's cool. I've never heard the mouse under your hand thing. That's a great concept. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
But I was going to say too, Shell, depending on how your song is, you know, or you guys are a 4-piece band, right? Or a 3-piece band. Yeah. So he probably is going to be able to get away with doing 2 full chord voicings with both hands. But if you had like a 5-piece band or you had extra band members, the keyboard would probably want to play a little bit less just so the sound isn't so muddied. And this goes for everybody. Like if you want to really stand out with your keyboard, almost playing less on the keys helps you stand out more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and so we don't have a bass player, and so we were also trying to think of like how could he fill that space in of a bass player a little bit more.
I know how he can fill in that space for the bass player a little more. So the answer is playing octaves. And for those of you who don't remember what an octave is, it's the space of 8 notes. So if we're playing the Rock Camp song and our first chord is E, right? This is my right hand playing the E chord. My left hand can not only play E below it, but I can reach. And if he's got big hands, this will be easy. Reach down and play another E with your pinky. And then that way you take over the walking bass line and you have this really full, rich sound. So have him play an octave with his left hand. Have him play 2 E's or 2 A's or 2 B's.
Way cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And another thing you can do if you want to play a bass line on the keyboard, you can. So say you like an iconic bass line and you like that. I'll have to turn up a little bit. Like that's just me playing 3 notes over and over with my left hand. And if he gets comfortable doing that with his left hand, then you can do chord voicings on top of that with your right hand. So if you don't have a bass player, you feel like you want bass, come up with a bass line, but play it on the keys.
Yeah, which you said.
Any other questions? Sydney, do you have any questions, or how are you feeling about the Rock Camp song? You feeling good about it? Yeah. Is it fun for you? Yeah.
You can say something now.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Hi, Sydney.
Sydney, I miss you. I haven't seen you forever. How are you? Good. Sorry.
Is Laurie your teacher?
Yeah.
Violin.
Cool. Violin, cool.
Yeah.
Guess what? I might be learning violin from Laurie too now. We just found out. Yeah. Sydney, have you started to come up with anything for your song, your original song, or just kind of experiment on your piano at all?
Oh, and your music now.
No.
Okay, so maybe this week start thinking about just playing for fun and see if something comes up that you like, you know? You can always show it to your band.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions, or does JC have any questions to help Sydney out, or?
No, I wasn't here for last week, so we've just been working as a band, trying to we worked on lyrics last week at our band.
Fun.
So we've got some concepts we're kicking around, but yeah, we just figuring out the basics.
I love it. Have you all had a chance to try the Rock Camp song or parts of the Rock Camp song together?
We did it last week.
With Julia?
Yeah, with just Julia, and it was
cool.
great. Of course, I can't hear anything because I'm on drums, but Julia was right next to Sid and said that Sid was doing great. She said she
love it.
Playing around. I'm sure she still needs to build her foundation, but she was enjoying it. Abby nailed the words.
Yay!
For the first time, it just floored me, so.
Awesome, I love that.
Small victories for sure, and we're celebrating those.
I love that. So Sydney, some of the things that you've learned on your violin, that Laurie's taught you on your violin, you can transfer that to the piano, right? Laurie, is there a good way to like kind of think about maybe taking some of the lessons and putting them to the piano?
Yeah, so Sydney, do you remember when we do our G warm up and we play the scale and the arpeggiations? Da 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 da. Remember that part?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're playing the rock camp song and you're playing those chords, they're basically arpeggiations. Yeah. Da 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 da. So that shape that you already know how to play on the violin, you can play that arpeggiation as well on your keyboard. Let's see what else. Remember when we played loud and soft on the violin? Sometimes we played loud and sometimes we played soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, so different dynamics, different volumes. Let's see what else. Remember when we played together with the metronome and sometimes one of us would get off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had to find the rhythm again. We had to find the rhythm. So you can pretend like your drummer is your metronome and you have to stay with them when you're playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
JC, is that something that you already said?
Oh no, I just said I'm your metronome.
Yep. Yep. Drummer's the metronome.
No pressure.
Hey, Laura, is there some way, because if everybody is always like playing at the same time, it can get muddy or it can get pretty heavy. Is there a way for a keyboardist to like a counter rhythm? Is there a way to hear that and know? Like a tip?
Counter rhythm.
Well, so say your guitar is playing like da 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 da. What could you do on the piano in between those da dots?
I love that. That was great.
Yeah.
So if your guitar is going da da, so the first thing you want to pay attention to is the other instrument playing low or are they playing high? And then see if you can maybe play the opposite. So if your guitar and your bass are both playing pretty low, then you probably want to play something pretty high so that it cuts through the noise. So if your guitar is going ba da, then you could go da 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 or something like that, right? So like they say something and then you say something. It's kind of like a conversation. One person has a sentence and then somebody else has a sentence. And imagine it like one person's someone with a very deep voice and then you're someone with a very high voice, or it could be opposite.
Yeah, I love that. If you listen to a lot of songs or like piano type songs, the piano often is, and if you don't know, the piano's a percussion instrument. It is considered a percussion instrument, but it's often bouncing kind of off of what, the guitars and the bass players are doing. So sometimes you might be playing when the snare, if you don't know what a snare is, when you play the drums, your boots and cats, your cats is the snare. So boot, cat, boot. So you might hit on the cats, right? Or sometimes you might hit on the boots. It just depends. Cool. Is there anything you've done to help you expand your, like if you feel stuck with a part, is there something you have done to get unstuck from that part or move on from it?
Oh, well, to get stuck on it. I mean, for me personally, the answer is to not move on from it. But to be willing to work on something in small enough sections that you can work out the problem. So like, I kind of think of it like if you had a big spool of yarn and it was all tangled up, would you like grab one side of the yarn and be like, "Arr!" and try to rip it apart? Like, no, you would get up very close to it and you would find the end and you would start pulling it apart one little piece at a time. So when I find something that I come up against that I can't get right away, like let's say it's 4 bars of something, 4 chords that I'm having a hard time with, and I can't seem to play these 4 chords in a row, I'm going to stop trying to play all 4 chords in a row and I'm going to focus on just the one chord and make sure I can play just that one chord. And when I can play that one chord 3 times, then I'm going to add the second chord and I'm going to work on the second chord and try and play those 2 together. And once I've got those 2 down, then I'm going to add the third chord and so on and so forth. So you narrow the focus. I call it working on the nitty gritty. And it's being willing to cut it into these very small bite-sized pieces and then you string all the pieces together. But it's about slowing down and being patient with yourself as you're working through stuff.
Yes, patience. A lot of times I just want to rush through it and
Yeah, and then you can obviously take a break, work on something else. If you're getting really frustrated, then step away and work on a different section for a while. But don't give up too easy. Oh, does Kashmira have a question?
do you have any, we're talking about if you have questions from the video from this week or just questions for Laurie in general.
Okay. No, I don't have any questions.
Oh, hey, what's up, girl? How you doing?
Yeah, awesome. Well, I have something? Can we just we'll all be in mute, but you're not in mute, Laurie, but can we just practice doing that E arpeggio?
Yeah, sure.
And we can start really slow and then maybe speed it up.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to be playing with my left hand. I'm going to be playing a low E here, and I'm going to move my camera. I don't have a very good angle for it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. All right, so my left hand is playing E. My right hand, my thumb is on E. My middle finger is on G sharp, which is the black key in the middle of the cluster of 3. And then my pinky is on B, which is the white key touching the top of the black keys. Okay, so this would be the chord. If we were going to play the chord, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we could go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So if we wanted to play blocked chords, those would be some good options to start with. If we want to play the arpeggio, let's start with what's called an ascending arpeggio, which means we're going to start at the very bottom note and we're going to play them in a row going up, okay? So we're starting with the low E, then our right hand thumb, then our middle finger on the black key, and then pinky on the B. Okay, let's do that again. Here we go. Ready? E, E, G sharp, B. Let's do it one more time. E, E, G sharp, B. Now let's try doing it backwards. So this time we're going to start with our pinky on B and we're going to go down. This is called descending, like descending down a hill. Here we go. B, G sharp, E, low E. Okay, let's do that again. Here we go. B, G sharp, E, low E. Now what's cool is you can stick these together. So we could do an ascending and then a descending without stopping. And that would sound like this. We'll do it slow in a minute, but altogether it sounds like this. Okay, so let's do that slowly. Here we go. Starting at the bottom and going up to the top and then coming back down. Here we go. Low E, E, G sharp, B, back down to G sharp, E, low E. Let's see, what else? Some other rhythms we could do, like for the rock camp song. I know one thing that I like to do is I'll hit the lower E and then on beat 1 and then on beat 2 I'll hit the chord. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey you, yeah you, you're amazing, it's true. Yeah, so you see how that can work out with the rhythm? Cool. Any questions so far on arpeggiations, or what do we want? Do you want to see more rhythms? What would we like to see? Yeah, more rhythms? Okay. Thumbs up. Let's see, what else could we do? Instead of 1, 2, whoopsies, that's a minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's hit on 3, 2, 3, and 4 each time. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We could get fancy and we could say on the verses, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. But then on the choruses, we're gonna do a different rhythm, right? So we don't have to play the same rhythm in the verses that you do in the choruses. Let's see, so we could say in the beginning, we could do arpeggiations. We're here to rock, we came to roll, oops, and then we go up to A. We build each other up, not tear each other down. Right? So we had the verses with an arpeggiation, and then the chorus with the chords. You could do that backwards. So let's go back down to our E chord and let's start with chords. We're here to rock. We came to roll. Making some noise. Taking control. Then we go up to the A chord, which is A, C sharp, and E. We build each other up, not tear each other down. Right? So we can do chords, we can do arpeggiations. We don't have to do the same thing the whole time. What else can we do? We can change the voices. I think we talked about that in the video. I'm going to get me an organ voice. Oh, yeah. Do I like that organ? Let's see. I have a couple organs to pick from. No, I don't like that organ. Church organ. Sorry. Ooh, that's a cool one. Okay, I found my organ. Everyone find a different voice on their key, on their keyboard. Sorry, I had to take a drink. All right. Let's just do some of those same rhythms again, but in a different voice on our keyboards. So everyone,
You
make
rocked,
sure
you
change-
hydrated.
Yeah, I hydrated. I rock. Everyone hydrated. Thanks, Shell. All right, so now that we've all changed the voices on our keyboard, let's do some of the same rhythms again. And I'm gonna sing the Rock Camp song as we go, just so you can hear how it might sound with the keys, okay? Here we go from the beginning. Let's do block chords on, and when I say a block chord, I mean playing everything at once like this. Okay, so we're gonna, it sounds so dramatic. So we're gonna play block chords now, and I'm gonna use my dramatic organ voice. Here we go. We're here to rock, we came to roll, making some noise, taking control. Let's move up to our A chord now. So A, C sharp, E. We build each other up, not tear each other down. We build each other up, not, and then here we go to B, which is B, D sharp, and F sharp. B, D sharp, and F sharp. Not tear each other down. Then we go back to E. We came here to get loud, showing up strong and proud, saying yuck to the status quo. Here we are putting on a show. Okay, find your A chord again, A, C sharp, and E. We build each other up, not tear each other down. We build each other up, not, here comes B, tear each other down. Cool. Let's see, anyone else have any questions so far? Besides, how is my organ so cool? No, we're good.
I would like people to know how cool my synth is.
Oh, yeah. Do I have synth? What do I have?
I was playing it like, I don't even know what style this is, but just,
Yeah, that's super cool. Wait, will you explain? Will you explain
I don't know
you're
what I'm doing. I know that I'm doing just an E
You're doing
and
an
then
octave.
another E.
So you're playing octaves. You're
I'm playing
alternating
octaves, yes.
octaves. Yeah, cool.
So, and
like
the rhythm
that.
I'm playing is eighth notes, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm just playing a lower E and then a higher E. So E, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Sounds like, I don't know what, 80? Is it 80s? What
It is
am I
80s, like
I guess
Devo.
It's the synth
Yeah.
that makes it 80s sounding.
It's like It's like Severin Bozong's music, Seb versus Evan.
Yeah, yeah.
You've inspired me to move on to synth, so now my voicing is in synth.
It's amazing when you change the voice, like all of a sudden it's a whole different song. So that's fun. Play around with.
It changes the whole sound, right? So like, and now that I'm in synth, I want to see what my arpeggiation sounds like. That sounds delightful.
It reminds me of the Never Ending Story.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Totally.
Oopsies.
Like outer space.
Like Doogie Howser, MD.
So this is like a good lesson, you know, if something you have written on your piano sounds great with your band, but it maybe feels a little bit off, try doing the same thing in a different voicing, in a different sound on your piano, because it could totally just take it to the whole other level, right? Yeah. And can you just talk real quick about...
Oh, you
muted yourself.
Sorry. Yeah. Can you talk about playing a quick chord instead of holding down notes?
Yeah. Okay. So like, remember earlier when I was doing the rhythm where I was going, where was it? 1, 2, 3. Whoopsies. I keep doing minor chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hold chords out for any number of beats between half of a beat and, well, I mean, as many beats as you want, but I mean, for the sake of the conversation, let's say between 1 and 4 beats. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, where I held every chord for 1 beat, or I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I held every chord for 2 beats. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, where I did 3 and 1. I could switch it up and go, actually, I think that's all the combinations. I think that was all the combinations. Yeah.
You can do super quick.
The 8th notes, you're right, where we play the chord twice per beat. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we just say and in between every number and just go twice as fast.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, so a couple times you said you've been playing the minor. Can you show us E minor too? Because it's cool. Yeah. I mean, we can hear E major sounds happy, right? What is E minor? We played E minor, and then Sydney or Kashmir, let us know what that makes you feel like, okay?
Cool. I switched over to strings, so we'll see how annoying this is. Okay, so I'm going to play something in what's called major. Okay, right? Now I'm gonna play something in minor. I'm gonna change 1 note, and the whole character of the chord is gonna change. Here we go.
Okay, Sydney or Kashmir, what did you notice?
It feels kind of happy and sad at the same time. Like I can't really tell.
Yeah, exactly. So the major key, this one, is supposed to sound and feel happy. That's the one where we have the G sharp in there. E, G sharp, B, happy. But if I take that G sharp down to the white key underneath it, the G natural, then we have the minor, which is sad. Can you get those? Did you get those 2 chords? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, all you have to do is move your one note, and you can go from being happy in your song and then go to sad, back to happy, back to sad. And all I'm doing is changing 1 note, and it sounds super cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mysterious. Minor sounds technically are more mysterious, not technically, whatever. Emotionally, they feel more mysterious. Sydney, you raised your hand? No? Okay.
Can you show us what the Rock Camp song chords, the 3 different chords, sound like in minor? Like if you were to play the whole song in minor?
Yes, 100%. I will do that for you.
I want to see how sad it sounds.
That sounds amazing. Here we go. Are you ready? I'm going to do it. The sad Rock Camp song. We're here to rock. We came to roll, making some noise, taking control. We build each other up.
Thank you for
What do you
humoring
think?
me. That was so sad. It doesn't make me feel like dancing at all. It's like, well, we came here to get loud, I guess.
I guess we came. Well, it's like we came here to get loud, but we didn't. I guess it's kind of.
So all I have to do, you said, is so I've got my thumb on the E and my middle finger on the G sharp and my pinky on the B for my right hand. So I just move my middle finger
down
from
a
the black
half
key
from
to
the
the
black to the
white
white.
key. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yep. And go up to your A chord. Go to your A major chord
Okay,
and do the same thing.
okay, so that's my major.
Yep.
Cool. That wasn't that hard.
Yep. And then it's the same
Oh, the
concept
B.
on the B and the B chord as well. Just take that one. So there's, but make sure there's still an F sharp in the chord. You're just moving one finger.
Wait, so B is my thumb on the B, and then where's my middle finger?
Maybe use your index finger on D.
Okay.
Index finger might be easier to reach it.
Okay, got it.
It's index, not ring. Index.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Missing one of those. Cool. That's not that hard to make the whole song completely change. We should
Yeah.
record an emo version of it someday.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it'd be fun at some point to record the rock camp song in like reggae style and death
All
metal
the
style.
different styles. Oh my gosh.
We'll do
I'll
it
do a
someday.
string arrangement. I'll do a string arrangement of it.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd
Yeah,
be really
just so
cool.
beautiful.
Well, and a challenge too, if you get sick of playing the rock camp song in major, play it in minor with your band and record a video for us. Show us how it sounds, because I think it'd be rad.
That'd
It's
be cool.
super sad, like, hey you, hey you.
You're amazing. It's true.
Yeah, I love it. You talked about, someone said reggae. Hillary, I think you said reggae.
Yeah.
Reggae's kind of cool on the keys. I don't know if a lot of people know, but you play on the, anyone know what you would play? On the ands. So yeah, offbeat, the ands, right? So like the rock camp song reggae style would be like, so we hit a rock, we hit a rope, making some noise, take control, we build each other up. You hear how it's not on the 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Can you all try playing on the offbeat right now? Can we try that? Because it's a little hard, but let's try it. So we're gonna play on the ands and we'll start slow, okay? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you feel that? How it feels like kind of rocking the boat? It's awesome.
On my strings, it sounds like a polka.
Ska music and reggae is polka
Reggae is
music.
polka
It's
music.
it's the same.
It's white
It's
people
also
music.
punk. Yeah. It's also punk. All right. Well, we got a couple more minutes. Does anybody have any other questions? Sydney or Kashmir, or anything you like want to show us that you're working on for your song or anything like that? No? That's
Kashmir,
okay.
Is your band working on the song, your original song yet? Like, have you started with lyrics or anything so far? Or are you still on the rock camp song?
Who are you talking to?
Kashmir.
Kashmir.
Oh.
Well, it took us a while to figure out the name because we had so many, and so it took us like an hour. So
That's cool.
What's the name?
Yeah, what's the name?
we're still trying to decide.
So is my band. We have 8. We've narrowed it down to 8, which is not good.
You might just have to pick it out of a hat and say this is what it's going to be.
Well, I was gonna say Sydney's band is working on lyrics so far, and I think sometimes it's cool when you have lyrics, just like with the rock camp song, our lyrics really called for like a major key, like the happy key, but sometimes lyrics call for like the sad key, or
Yeah.
sometimes a little bit of both. So it's kind of fun with your band to like read one of the lines that you wrote, like read one of the lyrics and try a chord with it and see how everyone feels. Like, does that chord like back up what we're trying to say? So that could be a fun way to start with your band. Usually it seems like most bands will start with writing lyrics, or maybe there'll be a drum beat that everyone starts to figure out how they can fit in with. But it is really cool to listen to lyrics and just try to figure out what the feeling you're trying to come across with the music.
Yeah, that's a great point. Especially if you're stuck and you don't know where to start with the song, you know, and just look at what your content is and make your, but also too, to counter that, one of my songs that I am angry in, I wrote it in C major, and I intentionally wanted to make it, I wanted to make it happy, you know, I wanted it to feel happy. But then in all reality, the song is sad. And so sometimes it's kind of cool to flip it on your audience and throw them a curveball like that, right? Well, thanks for the awesome lesson, Laurie. I think you taught us some amazing things tonight, like arpeggios, huge, awesome learning about between major and minor, and the fact that you just have to move how many notes?
One.
That's all it is. One key. So I just think, yeah, everybody practice, you know, playing between major and minor. So learn your chords and play them both ways. You'll start to get more ideas for your original song doing it that way. Laurie, or does anyone have any other questions before we leave for the night? We're good, I think. Thumbs up. Laurie, do you have any parting words for us? Well wishes for this upcoming week of lessons and learning?
No.
I put you on the spot.
Yeah, you did. No, practice, just practice. You got this.
Yeah, you got this. Practice. I mean, it's simple, right? And music's super fun. And have fun experimenting. Have fun checking out your different sounds on your piano. And your piano lesson will be live Wednesday night at 7 p.m. So definitely take next week's lesson and retake this week's lesson if you have time. It's always good to relearn things you've learned. So thanks everybody for showing up today. Everybody make some noise for Laurie Height.
Thanks, Laurie.
Yay.
Thank you.
Awesome.